Should I wear? Should I take it off? Remember one time there was a virus. When there was a virus, they made the virus into a political statement. Left, right, bias, non-bias, partisan. Then it was the social distancing. That was political. The opposition who were trying to get back into power was starting a social distance campaign to try and get their votes. Then came the mask. Should we put it on? Should we take it off? Will we have enough protection? Will we not have enough protection? So from a virus that did not exist, became a political statement into becoming a mask wearing and mask taking. And then, should we lock down or should we leave it open? Should we leave it open or shall we lock it down now? Shall we create... Truck drivers laughing. Everybody's laughing. They're all looking at me. What am I doing? I'm doing what everybody else is forgotten to do. Being conscious. And more importantly, being responsible. Here I am walking instead of talking and walking. There's a cyclist coming along. And so he doesn't say thank you. That's his way of behaving. That's his way of living. And I'm not here to teach him how to live. I'm here to share how we should all recognize each other. Even the pathways to share and be cared, be responsible and be safe. That individual is above everything. So he behaves the way he knows and how he's brought up. Anyway, then we were locking down, or should we lock down or should we not lock down? Shall we open it? And then shall we close it? Shall we get people to stay at home? Nobody knows how to be on their own when they were so compulsively behaved. They're always struggling with their mental attributes because their mental nature of life is that when you're faced with a situation, you're able to come out as a solution. When you're faced with a situation, you're meant to enhance the solutions. No, instead we create more situations and problems for ourselves and everybody else around us. And then we created what we call the stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and stage 4, with different datas that complicates and mess up so much our way of living and our way of life. And we were creating so-called a confusion theories. We were creating so-called exclusion theories. We were creating so-called non-understanding theories. What's so incredibly interesting is that then we moved into a traffic light system. Should we put and categorize everything and everyone into red, amber, and green? Now what should we do when they don't even understand what's red to stop and what's amber to be cautious and be practical and be responsible and conscious, and what's green is less of a risk, so that you, with a cautious mind, with a responsible and a reasonable mind, approach and take steps. Nature is blossoming. Look. Nature is flourishing, and its pollen is getting in my eyes and in my nostrils and reminding me of my fragility, because there's a cobweb right across my forehead. Look at how it's so incredibly woven as a wholesome life out here. Nobody understands a single petal of this beautiful flower. In about few days, few weeks time, the pollen count will go up with the rising of this temperature. More cobwebs. All the insects and spiders are thriving in this forest of life, and I'm struggling with my sensitive nose. Yeah. And having said sensitive nose, somebody was so fabulously did their shopping and came with the trolley. There's a Tesco's up there, and dumped the trolley in there. I don't know why they could do that to such a beautiful nature reserve, a park. Anyhow, then we start green, amber, and red. Nobody understands where they are. Nobody even know what green, amber, and red is. If you're blind, is it colorblind? Are you capable of even understanding how you're driving as a responsible driver? No. You're just driving because when you push the accelerator, it goes. When you push the brakes, it stops. And if it was a manual car, you need to release your clutch in a gentle way, but at the same time giving some gas by pushing the accelerator. But if you did not know how to coordinate your clutch and your accelerator, you'll be like a jerky driver. You're a jerky living lifestyle has caused this absolutely unsmooth, unsettling life conditions for all of us. Oh, what can I do? Just keep sharing what I know. And you should all live a beautiful life. Look at this life. It's happening wonderfully. The nature is providing for all of us, including this blossomed flower. And there's still flowers to bloom. And the blossom flowers are now ready to pollinate and multiply its species. The birds are singing, they've had their food. It's wonderful. Wow. Can you hear it? They're settling down for the night. And as you can see, the truckers have come. They stopped by, and I will show you exactly what they do with all the waste products. And most importantly, the councils have actually provided the bins. The bins are stacked up there, and what's so interesting is that, look at all this. Oh, we got some waste products here. We've got bananas and got some peaches that are gone off. They're just dumped on the side. And so that's what happens, folks. As much of the time, they come over and they create a mess for the rest to clean up. They're getting drunk. Those cans from those European truckers will now be thrown into the green space. And when the leaves fall, there are hundreds of videos of mine of this same section which I have filmed, and all they do is just litter the country, litter wherever they go, that they don't want to carry it in their cab because they wanted to keep their cab clean, whilst wherever they are, they can just chuck it away, just like that. Get drunk, chuck it away. I hope those drivers are not driving tonight on those trucks, wherever they are going to, whichever the warehouse they're heading out to, or whichever the ferry they're going to board. I hope they become a responsible truckers. Anyway, forget about the truckers. I've been talking about, should we lock down? Should we wear a mask? Should we social distance? Shall we remove it? Shall we get back to work again? And all became a political affair. Now that everybody knows what's going on and nobody knows what to do with life, everybody seems to be they've increased the capacity of confusion, which is a good thing, I suppose. After all, it is the confusion that has messed up the humanity on this planet, because none of this species of life is confused in any way that we are. When the soil is rich, when there's enough water and enough sunlight that provides life, look at how it thrives. Look at how it flourishes, how it blossoms, how profound the life becomes. There's no other species is as confused and messed up as human beings. And I hope, and I sincerely hope, that we wake up and realize that it is not our intellect, it's not what we learn as a limited way of living. It is how we unlearn to be a limitless possibility in this expanse, which we call above me, as all those mosquitoes are waiting to get at me, or are they keeping company with me? Whatever that may be, this is what we are capable of. There's a beautiful web across there, and there's complex web structures woven by a spider that is just there waiting to enjoy the luxury of the insects that it's going to catch. Look at this. How incredible is this life, and how messy and awful is this life of human beings. What we create, just chucked just like that in a flourishing greenery. Okay, folks, what can I say? I've said enough. Nobody seems to listen to anything what works for human beings. They're all chasing their dreams. They're chasing their idols. They're chasing their fans, their influencers, towards a destination which has no significance in life. The significance is the life itself that we have forgotten by chasing our limited and silly dreams. Yes, under a bridge fascinating, don't you think? All alone, whilst on a Friday night, everybody's having a wonderful time, getting drunk, and I'm getting absorbed by freshness of life, whilst the traffic is circling around me, polluting the air. Whilst they're burning the oil, I thought I'll burn and reduce the fat content around my waistline. Because every time I go through the airport, they're asking me to take a belt which is permanently stuck around here. I'm sure it is the case with every one of you. And some are fortunate enough to have less of a belt around their waist. But for me, it is a constant challenge to keep it that fat belt burning. But whatever I do, whatever I don't do, that I belong to this earth. Because this body, which I have taken so much in a shape and an identity and a psychological aura, it knows where it's belongs. It is a temporary and it is brief. It belongs to the earth, and this is earth. Whatever the mass that I'm carrying with me is called, as we call body, my body is part of this planet, which has been borrowed for you to experience a life. And it is down to you to experience it in a profound and a most wonderful way, or go around getting drunk until you're sick, until you can't keep your head straight, or you can simply inhale a breath of fresh air from the air, which is free for you and for all other life. Or you could look at the best advert of the best liquors and best beers and call your fan club, get dressed up, get fascinated by your conversation topics, and simply get plastered with copious amount of alcohol that you might even forget to even hold on to your mask. It might slip away from your fingers and end up on the sidewalk. Or you might just about not have the strength to hold on to that bottle for too long and just chuck it like that. And this is what humanity is capable of. Or chuck it like that. Those are beer cans that they were shamed by what they drank, so they put it in a plastic bag and threw it in the sidewalk. They didn't have the conscious or the clear mind to carry it home and dispose of it responsibly. So I have been talking several topics, all related to human mess or human confusion or human drunkenness. And we have created several meaningless emotions, got ourselves twisted, got ourselves in a tangle, got imprisoned through our own self-preservations, and then we are complaining about what's happening to us. There's nothing happening to us. We're simply going in directions, in circles, of what we have always been doing, making the same mistakes over and over and over again. From creating wars to creating suffering to creating struggles. And we are simply going round, and particularly when you're all sat at a round table, until your turn turns up, you don't realize. Doesn't matter how you and which direction and which way you head. Remember, there's only one direction in whatever the situation you face. If you took that one step inwards, which has the most profound, which has the most impactful, which has the most meaningful solutions for humans to thrive, to blossom, to be conscious, and to be responsible. It can only happen as an individual if you were inward and inwardly conscious. That one single step is the biggest step that you could ever make in human history. The space raiders have turned up on the sidewalk, and what was inside was full of fat, sugar, salt that you thought was healthy. When you keep popping these things in your mouth, you will end up just like space raiders, going nowhere in this dark, empty space. I'm sure I have confused the hell out of people who've been watching this video. And if you had continued to watch to the end, I'm sorry for being a nuisance and putting together many different words that may not have the same meaning in how you see life. There is no meaning in life. The meaning is what you make out of your life. And if that life isn't going to be a pain and a suffering and a struggle in the way in which you live, I'm sure that is the best we can do here on this earth.